What if you could walk the most dangerous and most magnificent trade route in human history? What if every step you took connected you to a dozen civilizations at once? Today, we're going back to the 1200s, to a world where silk, spices, and secrets traveled thousands of miles across deserts, mountains, and empires. This is the Silk Road, and it was nothing like you imagine. Close your eyes for a moment. Imagine standing at the gates of Chang'an, the imperial capital of China. The year is 1200. The city behind you holds over 1 million people, the largest city on Earth. The air smells of incense, roasting meat, and something else, possibility. Stretching out before you is a road. Not one road, actually, but a web of roads, mountain passes, and desert trails that reaches all the way to the Mediterranean Sea, 7,000 miles, crossing some of the most brutal terrain on the planet. This is the Silk Road. It didn't have that name yet. That would come centuries later, coined by a German geographer. To the merchants, soldiers, and pilgrims who walked it, it was simply the way, the only way. And in the 1200s, it was alive like never before. Here's what most history books miss. The Silk Road was never really about silk. Yes, Chinese silk was priceless in the West. Roman emperors had paid its weight in gold. Byzantine empresses draped themselves in it. But by the 1200s, what moved along this road was far more valuable than fabric. Ideas moved. Mathematics, astronomy, medicine. Knowledge flowed east and west along this route like water finding its level. The numbers you use every day, they came west along the Silk Road. Paper, gunpowder, the magnetic compass. But let's talk about the people. A typical caravan in the 1200s might include Chinese merchants carrying porcelain, Persian traders with saffron and carpets, Arab scholars with manuscripts, and Mongol soldiers offering protection or demanding payment. They spoke dozens of languages, they prayed to different gods, and they needed each other completely. The Caravanserai were the heartbeat of this system. Every 20 to 30 miles along the route, a traveler could find one, a roadside inn built around a central courtyard, large enough to shelter hundreds of merchants, thousands of animals. At night, these places became the most cosmopolitan rooms on Earth. A merchant from Venice might share a fire with a Buddhist monk from India and a Chinese silk trader who had never seen the ocean. Now, here is the open loop I want you to hold in your mind. In the 1200s, one force was about to change the Silk Road forever. Not destroy it, transform it. And that force was the most powerful empire the world had ever seen. We'll get there, but first, let's walk further west. Leaving China, the road climbs into the Pamir Mountains. These peaks are brutal. Thin air, freezing winds, paths barely wide enough for a loaded camel. Merchants called this stretch the roof of the world. Many did not survive it. Those who did descend into Samarkand. If Chang'an was the heart of the Silk Road, Samarkand was its soul. A city of turquoise domes and fountains, of scholars and poets and astronomers. In the 1200s, Samarkand was one of the most beautiful cities on Earth. Its bazaars overflowed with goods from every corner of the known world. Glass from Venice, spices from India, horses from Arabia. Standing in its central square, you could hear 5 languages before you finished your morning tea. Now back to that open loop. The force that transformed the Silk Road in the 1200s was the Mongol Empire. Under Genghis Khan and his successors, the Mongols conquered an unbroken stretch of land from China to Persia. And in doing so, they did something no power had ever achieved. They unified the road. For the first time in history, a single merchant could travel from China to the Black Sea without crossing a hostile border. The Mongols enforced safety along the routes. They built roads and relay stations. They issued passports, called paisas, that guaranteed safe passage. This period became known as the Pax Mongolica, the Mongol Peace. And it was during this era that a young Venetian merchant named Marco Polo made the journey that would change how Europe understood the world. The Silk Road at its peak was not just a trade route, it was the internet of the ancient world, a living, breathing network that connected civilizations, spread ideas, and made the modern world possible. And standing at those gates in Chang'an in 1200, you were standing at the center of it all. The road is waiting. Where will you go?